Welcome to the UKOCR Community Podcast, presented by Obstacle Racing Media. Each episode, we'll be talking to race directors, elite runners, weekend warriors, and frankly, anyone else from the UKOCR scene that will talk to us. Here is your host, Alan, aka Muddy Duck.
Anywhere in Chicken Town. The bloody scene is bloody sad. The bloody news is bloody bad.
Greetings, friends, acquaintances, and anyone else who just happens to be listening. Welcome to another edition of the UKOCR podcast with me, your host, Alan. How's everyone weekend been? Oh, you've had a really good weekend. It's been payday for a lot of us, and a lot of you have signed up to the UK Obstacle Racing Awards. Thank you very much to everyone who's signed up. There are still some seats left, so if you want to get onto it, head over to ukocr.com. Look for the awards 2023, because we're celebrating last year, remember? Although we're in 2024, sometimes confuses me. And when I had the trophies made, more sports and more actually messaged me and said, it says 2023 on here. And I'm like, yeah, the 2023 awards. So yeah, it does confuse me as well. I hope it doesn't confuse you. And anyway, this show, by the way, is actually sponsored by Wild Forest Gym. Because Wild Forest Gym, before the awards, so this is on the 18th of March, before the awards, we're all heading down to Wild Forest Gym for a bit of a play. Yeah, there's some time trials, stroke 3K race, time trials, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, we're going to go out and smash a 3K course. And then we're going to have a bit of fun as well. I don't think I'm going to go out and smash it. I think I'm just going to go and have a couple of fun laps. But yeah, we're going to get a little bit excited. We're going to take the cameras down with us. So you can come and join us. Just head over to UKOCR.com for the 2023 awards again, and you will find it on there, the link, if you want to sign up. Or you can head over to Nuclear and sign up that way. One way or another, there's both options. It's going to be a bit of fun, and also it's going to be a qualifier for one of the, I do believe it's the European 3K Championships. So yeah, so it's quite exciting. We're going to get a lot of quality races racing down there, trying to qualify. And it's a bit of a, for the elite races, gives you a little bit of a tester before you're going up to Tartan Warrior the week after. So yeah, that's it. So who have I got on my podcast this week? You've probably seen on the intro, I have got Shylla. Well, why did I get her on? I'll tell you why I got her on. Because I was listening to Accountability Corner. As you know, I appeared on it as well. So that's a great podcast with Chris Shipley, Darren Martin and Morgan Maxwell. And I was on there and people talked about who they thought was going to be the big racer to come through in 2024, and a lot of people mentioned Shylla Duhaney, and so I thought, well, let's get her on. Let's find out where she started OCR and where she's going to finish it this year, what she thinks her game plan is this year. You're going to find this very interesting. Going to get her on for a later episode as well, because she's got a lot to talk about. She mentions in here Who Dares Wins and Ninja Warrior and things like that, so she's got a lot to talk about. I want to delve a little bit back in that when we speak to her next time. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. Let's get into the podcast. Hello, listener, and have I got a treat for you today? We have got who's probably been predicted as the person to watch. I'm going to say the person to watch in next year by nearly every podcast host, every athlete in the UKOCR series. Shylla Duhaney, welcome to the UKOCR podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You've been on our radar. I saw your race at the British Champs. I was really impressed. And when I was talking to Darren, Mo, and Chris Shipley, they asked me who was the person to watch this year, and your name it instantly came straight out because your first serious year in OCR, 8th in the UK OCR series, less than 10 points behind 7th. How does it feel your first year?
It's been fun, because my first race was the Nuclear Challenge Cup.
Yep.
So I didn't really know what to expect. My first ever OCR race, so I had no clue what I was getting into. Didn't have the right shoes on either, so I was slipping and sliding everywhere.
Oh, what were you wearing?
I just had some road shoes on, some Pokers.
All right.
Yeah, they wasn't the best shoes because I had a marathon the following week to do. So I just kind of bought some trainers, not thinking, and then just turned up and yeah.
What made you want to do one?
Because obviously I did Ninja Warrior,
Yeah.
so I was doing a lot of obstacles, and I wanted to just like push myself and like challenge myself to do something a bit different. And through Ninja, when I was training at True Function, speaking with Shelly, she like said try the Nuclear Challenge Cup, and she said sign up, should do the elite race. I was like, didn't really know what any of that meant, and then sign up, and then turn up on the day, and yeah,
Wow.
ran round. I say ran round. I slipped and slid around a lot.
I think you did a little bit more than that. I mean, where were you? Let's have a quick look. So I have got you here at where did we come? Let's have a quick look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 17th place? Is that about
Yeah,
right?
yeah, probably. But
Yeah.
I think I actually finished second in my age group somehow,
Right.
which booked me a place for the Euros, which I didn't have a clue about that either. So my second event in OCR was at the European Championships.
Wow. Wow. And tell our listeners how you went on there.
I didn't do too well. Um, I didn't keep any of my bands. But going into it, I was more mindset of just having a good experience and l- learn and see what it's all about and have a go at some obstacles and see how well I do. Which
Yeah.
obviously I lost my bands, but I had a really good experience. I done the 3K in the end and the 100 meters, so more of the short events, which was really fun. And I had a really good experience just to see everything and be out there with the team. And then from there, I just think my next race was Rude Rampage.
Oh, you went down. Well, you went down to the little one that's
Yeah,
right down south. Took the trip down there. And yeah, I mean, it's going down there. It's you're coming up against some of the. I think wherever you go in the UKOCR is you're coming against some of the better runners, aren't you? But I mean, Rude Rampage is a place where we get a lot of runners going open to pick up easy points in the league, and it's not quite the case, is it?
it was definitely a runner's race. It was a lot of just more like jumping over stuff and hurdles and not much technical obstacles as such. So it was just a chance to like just have a run out, I guess, and experience getting muddy and getting in some water and stuff. Yeah. So it was it was fun, but I was carrying an injury because
Right.
I from obviously slipping and sliding around the Challenge Cup, I um damaged part of my ankle. So like I couldn't plant a flex my foot properly. So my knee was overcompensating. So that was a bit, but it was playing up a lot. So I was carrying that injury. And then obviously what I shouldn't have done after Nuclear Challenge the following week, I did a marathon that I didn't train for. And yeah, so that didn't really help. It
Oh, which marathon did you do?
was just a local one in Windsor.
Right.
It was like a trail marathon. Just one of my football teammates just asked me to do it with her, but at the time I didn't. I just kind of didn't train, didn't do much any running, and just turn up.
And what time did you clock?
I think it was about 4.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That
I
was
think yeah,
trail.
about 4.5. Yeah,
That was
trail.
wow.
Yeah, it wasn't like any like major like climbs or anything because it was like Windsor's not very hilly at any points. But yeah, it was fun experience just because I was hobbling around a lot basically.
Is your fitness background in running? I mean, you mentioned football and that there. Is that more your background?
Yeah, like I play football, so I've got like the like speed endurance kind of aspects of running, and I've always said I can run, but I always say I only run if you put a football in front of me.
But I guess OCR must play a little bit with your football because, football is used on a Saturdays. And I guess
Yeah,
most OCRs are on a Saturday.
yeah, we my for the women's league, we a lot of our games are Sundays, so
Okay.
it still affects because some of the OTR races are Sundays as well. But yeah, recently I've missed a lot of football. I've only really been going training for the odd session, and then most of my other time spent either I'm in the gym every day more or less, and then Thursdays down at Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, you join Rumble Fitness. Before going to Rumble and that, have you convinced any of your football friends to come and join you on an OCR course?
Not yet, not yet. A couple of them have hinted that they would like to like just have a go and just have some fun, but not convinced anyone
Yeah.
essentially to get down there.
So, I mean, you've joined Rumble Fitness. I mean, you mentioned earlier on about the Ninja Warrior and things like that. Is your, do you feel that your background is in obstacles and technical obstacles? Because I mean, I saw you at the British Champs, and that is the only time I've actually seen you running. I'm going to be honest, and so that's the only time I've seen you running. I mean, you flew through the obstacles that I saw you at. Do you feel that's one of your big strengths?
I think so. Everyone says I'm very like strong and good on the obstacles. I think because I think because obviously gym and just my natural training, I've got that good like base of strength. So I'm able to hang and I've got quite good grip endurance. And I like the technical obstacles. I like blowing through them more. I'm still like building up and working out how to like best attack them as such because I say I like, hesitate, but just I take my time. I don't rush or
Okay.
take any risks on obstacles as such. Like compared to when I'm training, I mess about a lot more in training and have fun.
What puts you off taking the risk? Could it be the fact that you lost your bands at the Euros in your second ever race? Is it a little bit hesitant like that, and you'd rather keep your bands, or do you think it's just I don't know.
I
I mean,
don't
you tell me.
I wouldn't say it's because the Euros, because when I went into the Euros, it was more because in the build up to that, I'd lost a lot of my grip strength because I stopped training for a bit. I was struggling more with my mental health at the time. So as I got back into training, because I was training mainly at True Function at the time, I'd taken a lot of time off where I just wasn't doing much. So going into Euros, I knew it was going to be a challenge because I hadn't done much training at all. So my fitness and my grip endurance had more or less deteriorated quite a lot. So I think it's more confidence, like because everyone I talk to or anyone who sees me train, they're always like, I'm so strong or I don't fall off obstacles, which I tend not to. But I think when I get into races, I'm not a confident person anyway. So it's just having that belief in myself. And I think I don't always it's not I do trust myself on the obstacles, but I don't trust myself to take the risks as such. So I just flow through the obstacles instead of attacking them. I'm not at that stage where I'm ready to like go full send as such.
Not a bit like Shelley, who just hits the obstacles and just like goes from one end to the other in seconds
Yeah,
and does it.
I've not quite got to that attacking stage yet. I'm just I'm still more just enjoying it. It's like I know obviously I'm in a race, but it's more just me versus me and just doing the best I can do without more tunnel vision. More, I'm not really thinking about anyone else. I'm just having fun and cruising through the obstacles as such. So like some of the results I get, sometimes they're a shock to me because I'm not essentially out there pushing for a result.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, from a runner's point of view, when I saw you at the British Champs, you looked like you were running quite easy. You didn't look like you was pushing the running where I saw several of the top runners coming through, and they were really pushing. You know, they were out of breath coming up that hill to the little dunk wall near the end. I think it was about five obstacles near the end, and there was that little wall in the pool, and there was
Yeah.
coming up the hill from the sandbag carry to that, and a lot of them were really breathing heavily, and you just seemed to flow up there with ease. It was like I felt you had a lot more to give.
Yeah, there was more in the tank. I think that's what not lacking, but that's like I've not found that part of me where I'm pushing yet. So I think when everyone sees me, they're like, you don't seem tired or you feel like you've got loads of energy and you're always smiling. It's because I'm still in cruise control.
Yeah.
I'm more or less in second gear.
And this is why we're saying if you can step up into third gear or fourth, we're all saying that you're gonna be right up there. Have you done any specific running training or anything like that? I mean, what level of football do you play at, first of all?
Um, when I was playing regularly, we were in a semi-pro league, so
Okay.
quite an intense league. Um, and like fitness wise, I think I'm just quite blessed with my fitness. I've always been able to run from when I was really young. Running was always part of the sports I take part in, whether it be like cross country, bit of long distance, sprinting events, and then like obviously football, done basketball, netball. So I've always had those stop start aspects to my running and just been able to keep running because I think just as a kid, just playing outside a lot, I used to do a lot of running around and on my bike and I've always been active. So I think I've always had that good cardio in general. And growing up, I've always kept active, so I don't think I've lost a lot, and it's just getting back into it. So I'm running more now just because of OCR, so it gets me running a bit more. But there's no real like solid running background as such, just natural ability.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I played football at a semi-pro level as well, and when I played before I played semi-pro, I used to play like in clubs and things like that. And I was quite young, and it was all the training was all running based. So I built up a really good running background from a very early stage. But then when I went to play semi-pro, it was more everything was done with a football, and there was very little running, a completely different training regime and things like that. So I guess from you playing semi-pro, I would have thought that's going to be a similar training plan with you. You've then got to start running if you're going to enter OCR events.
Yeah, it's like that. I think a couple of seasons in our football, we had a coach who got us doing a lot of tempo runs in our like training sessions and just emphasizing on the running side of stuff. So some of us outside of football would still like focus on our training and keep up with it. Where I guess some players they only train at football,
Yeah,
whereas I think because I gym and stuff, I'd be jumping on the treadmills or like the sprint machines, and I've always my training's always been a bit mixed, so I've always had a little bit aspect of running. I just never really would go road running. That was always my default. I just didn't like running on the roads.
what position do you play at football?
Midfield,
Oh, so you do a lot of running in midfield.
yeah,
Are you an attacking midfielder, a defensive midfielder? What's
more
your
attacking.
yeah?
Um, Definitely more attacking, but I'm like box to box, so back and forth.
Back and forth. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where your fitness comes from, then, isn't it? It's I played football with many of people who were they were either attacking or they were defending, and very few were box to box. But the ones who went box to box, they were far fitter than anyone else. If you got a player that would be defending 1 minute, attacking the next, then defending again, it was always, and they were always the better footballers. I love playing with them type of footballers.
yeah.
So.
It's always been me, that player who just constantly running. I'm just always running.
So after Rude Rampage, where was after Rude Rampage? Where did we go next? Oh, sorry, Rude Rampage, we got 11th place. So Rude Rampage,
Yeah,
big step up, 11th place. Where do we go after that?
Summer Nuts,
Summer
the one
Nuts.
K, the one 7K, sorry, the sprint one lap.
Yep, yep. And I guess
That's
this
my
is where you sort of started to shine, isn't it? What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth place.
yeah,
Some quality names there behind you. Tamar Barkley, Laura Haywood, Libby, Encarnation, Salas, Emma Kirkwood, Julie Botwood, some great people there whose scalps you took. Was that when you realised you had a bit of a talent?
um, I wouldn't say. I felt like that race. My only focus was keep my bands
Right.
and finish the race. I didn't have any thoughts of position wise, and it was more just that cruise control. I only actually that it was towards the end that became a little bit of a sprint with me and Karen because she caught up with me at the water, and water's not my strong point, so I just won't even attack the water. So I was just chilling, and then we got to like the last section of the water, and I think she had a fall, and then she got back up and flew through those what are they called, the
Floaty pontoon things, or
yeah, the pontoon things. Yeah, she
yeah.
just flew through them, and I was looking see at the corner where I just literally floating over them, and then so she got ahead of me, and then we came around the corner, and I think Mark, one of the Rumble teammate, he was screaming at me like saying like sprint, and so I kind of tried to sprint towards the finish line. So we had like a quite fast sprint finish in that, and yeah, and then realised I finished in sixth, which was a good result.
The people who beat you is like a who's who of OCR at a minute, though. I mean, we got
Yeah,
Feddy, we got Louise Ferryman, we got Becky Neal, Josie Lloyd, Karen McQuarrie. That's a who's who. To come behind all of that, anyone would take that any day. You could speak to most people that say, "Yeah, I'd come in behind those any day."
yeah,
So great. Did that give you a little bit more confidence?
yeah, for sure. It kind of made me realise that I was closer to the front than I thought I would have been at that stage, because considering it was my fourth race as such, and I didn't think I'd like be finishing in the top 10 of races that quick. And I was just really like happy that I kept all my bands and I got through the obstacles really comfortably and just felt strong throughout.
Yeah.
yeah, and it was just it was a really good race. So to know I was up there, and the times as well. I think I looked at the times, and there wasn't a lot that separated like everyone. It was quite a close race, and so I thought, yeah, it was a really good result.
Yeah, an amazing result, amazing result. And then came the big race of the year. The British champs. You know
Yeah,
the big one that everyone had been building up to. The start line. I mean, what do you feel like on the start line there? In the company of all them top races. I mean, we're talking the best of the best were there.
yeah. Trying to think. I think I was just like a little bit nervous. The more I was just thinking about some of the obstacles and then just getting around. I wasn't. I think because me and I stayed with Lou the night, Louise Ferriman, and I think I joked. I was like, "Oh, if I could get like top five, that'd be awesome." And then I just didn't. That was the night before, and I didn't really think about it on the day. And then obviously just ran round. My main focus was just get through the obstacles, complete everything, try not to like hold up anything and get any penalties, and just see where I end up. And um, running round, I think Becky and Karen, they were in front of me like for quite a long while having a mini battle, and I was kind of just observing it. And like if I think like part of me was like I could have attacked more and like joined in, but I was just like in my own little cruise control mode and just getting myself round and just enjoying the race as such. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then got towards the end, and I think obviously I saw you by the dunk wall, and yeah, I just felt comfortable. I felt good. And then when I finished and realized what position I actually finished in, I was like, oh, it was like, I was really happy with where I finished and the result I got. And I thought, like, for the British champs, that's an amazing record, like, achievement for myself.
First season, one season into it, and coming
Yeah.
fifth at the British champs. People would give the right arm for that. That's absolutely amazing. And we talk about the four people that beat you: Feddy, Ellen Wells, Karen McQuarrie, Becky Neal. Seasoned racers. But then you look at the people behind you, and this is just and I'm not going to give them a shout out. They all know that, but these are seasoned racers. I mean, beating your own teammate Louise. That was
Yeah.
like. How did that feel beating? What did you say to?
We,
What did she
we,
say to you?
we've always been joking. I'm like, as soon as I like get back into my running properly, I was like, I'm coming for you. Like, we always just mess about and joke. So I think it was the Torres rig. And well, she always catches me on the crawl. She's got an insane crawl under anything. She just flies
Right.
through crawls. So she just appeared out of nowhere on that and overtook me. And then she was ahead of me. And then I think we got to the Torres rig. And then she started it before me. And then she came off. And I was like shocked because I know Luke can get through those like
Yeah.
blindfolded any day. But she came off. And then obviously I got ahead because then she had to do the penalty loop. And then, yeah. And I was just like, for a bit, I was like shocked. I thought, yeah, she's going to catch me up. I know she'll come running around the corner soon. But yeah, then I finished ahead and we just joked about it. But she was obviously chuffed with me and I was just shocked that I beat her at that stage. But yeah, we always have little banners about that I'm gonna come for her and get her in the next race.
Are you a fan of penalty loops or bans? What do you prefer?
um, I like the bands. I think obviously the penalty loops they work, and I think for me it's like hard to know the difference between like previous times because obviously where
Yeah.
I'm new, I don't know how it worked properly before. But I feel like in the races I've been in, it seems to like any penalty loops I've seen seem to equal out like if you don't complete the obstacle, then the penalty loop obviously slows you down a bit and makes it fair for the people who are actually being able to get across the obstacles and complete them in succession rather than failing an obstacle because you don't want to attempt it and trying to just fly for a penalty loop.
Yeah.
I feel like
I've
it
been
works.
agreeing with you. Yeah. Yeah. They both work. Penalty loops and bans both work. I'm a fan
Yeah,
of the penalty loops. I think the penalty loop should take 3 times as long as completing the obstacle, if I'm honest. And it's got
yeah,
to be a proper penalty loop, not just, a little 100-meter sprint. It needs to be a penalty
yeah,
loop that says, if you're not going to do the obstacle or you're going to fail it, you've got to go and do a penalty. And it's going to be a good penalty. And I like it from a spectator point of view because I like to see racing.
yeah,
And in some of the races in the past, and my listeners will all know about these, when we had bans or must complete obstacles, must complete wasn't so bad. But when we had bans, you could have first place come through, but they'd not kept the bands, and you thought they'd won until then. The results are published, and it's not one. I like to see whoever crosses that finish line first is the winner.
Yeah,
And I
I think
like
that's where
that.
the penalty loops works because you know who's in what position
Yeah,
and where they come,
yeah.
which I
And
think is really good.
I guess from a runner's point of view, it might be it's just as good that way as well, because if you someone who's ahead of you falls off an obstacle, you don't know if they've lost that band or not. You just know they're ahead of you, don't you? And it's not
Yeah,
until the end that you
you
realize
realise.
that, yeah, you know. But no, it's awesome. And like we said, I mean, what an amazing first season.
Yeah,
And you've just got better and better as the season's gone on.
yeah. No, it's been really good because I think especially with the British champs, looking at the course, I was like, it's definitely a course for like runners because there was so much like stretches of just where you could just open your legs and go. But I think it was Becky who posted stats that I think the five of us that actually completed the Torres rig were the ones who came in that top position. So it was like completion actually was the what word am I looking for?
The overriding factor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that race.
Yeah, no, I get that, and that's where it should be. It's an obstacle race, isn't it? It's an obstacle race, so people who complete obstacles should be able to get a head start on other runners and that. So
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. In the down season, then what have we been doing in this down season now? I mean, the last race was what, October? No, yeah, October time. So now we've had 4 months off. Have you been training hard? You've been in the gym. What have you been up to?
I think because for me, after British Champs, I done the free K at Forders gym,
Yeah,
and then I done Hang On, which was a really cool experience. And I've just been just still quite keeping up with training down at Rumble and my gym stuff, and just a bit more running and stuff. Yeah, but I think it's just been so cold as well. So some of my obstacle training hasn't been as good as it normally is. I don't do well in the winter.
and this year coming up, 2024, we've got more than one series. We've got the 3K series coming up. We've
Yeah.
got the Endurance League. We've got the UKOCR League. Are you going to specialize on one? Are you going to mix and match between them? What's your plans?
I think I'm definitely going to do the races in the UK OCR series. I have looked at some of the 3K races. Some of them clash with a few things I've got planned, but I'm hoping to do some as well. And just 'cause I like the 3K, so I want to be involved in that. It's just working out the dates because I don't think all of them have been released yet. So still trying to
No,
figure out where I can fit them all in.
yeah, you're right. They haven't all been released yet. I know some of them have. I think
Yeah.
we've got Tartan Warrior, which is the day before.
Yeah, I'll be
Um,
at Tartan Warrior. That's my first races because I'm doing all the races.
right. Also, you plans to go to all of them this year?
Yeah, I'm doing all the Tartan races. So the 3K, the 8K, and the 100 meters, and then so that's my first race booked in for the year.
Wow.
Yeah, so that'd be fun. And my first actual race, depending on when the podcast comes out, is going to be Sunday coming up. I'm going to um the medieval extreme race
All
in
right.
Alicante. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
gonna have fun over there and try and complete some obstacles.
So a bit of a holiday and a race together, or is it just,
It's more just a quick fly in like weekend. So going to be out there the Friday, Saturday, and the races on the Sunday.
awesome, awesome,
Yeah,
fantastic. I love that. I love finding out about different races around the world where you can go to and things like that. I've been very much a UK runner for a long time. But now I've got my passport, which is my first passport in 15 years. So the plan is maybe to start moving around a little bit. So watch this
yeah,
space, listeners. We
yeah.
shall
It'd be good.
see.
Yeah, I
We
thought I'd
shall
just
see.
have an experience of some other races and because obviously the main goal is Euros. That's like want to see how well I can do there and yeah, just have fun in the races and the build up. Yeah, and that's
How
the big challenge.
how does it feel knowing that people are saying that you are going to be challenging this year? How does that feel to you? You said earlier on you're not quite the confident person that you exude when you run because you do look confident, you're smiling, you're running within your limits. How does that feel? Does that put extra pressure on you, or you just go, well, you'll do what you want to do and we'll do it Shyla's way?
Yeah. Um, every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, like it does make me think. but I'm always my mindset's always I don't actually think I'm there, like
Right.
at the top with those guys and be battling it out because I still feel like obviously I've had a first season and I've experienced some races, but I still feel like this season coming up is going to be still a season where I have no real pressure on myself as such
Yeah.
because I'm not even a year in yet because my first race was May, so we're only in Feb, and a lot of the other girls they've been racing for years, so they have like so much experience and races under their belts, and I think I've got about 10. So it's
11 with
like,
Alicante.
oh yeah, 11 coming up. So I feel like I I love the fact that people are like backing me and thinking I'm going to be competing, and yeah, because of course I'd love to be up there, but I don't actually think I don't have any pressure on myself thinking I need to be up there competing. Like I'm still going to be going into races, doing it my way and just having fun. Might even char after an obstacle. Like there's no real. I just don't feel like that I'm at the stage of attacking races. Like I feel obviously my fitness is probably going to be better because I started off my first ever season with an injury, and I know my fitness was nowhere where it normally would be. So compared to how I am now, I feel like I'm back to like my best fitness, and so races will be different, and I'll probably be running more better with it, but I'll still be running within myself. I don't know if my mindset's at the attack race or
Right.
hunt people down a point.
I get that. I get that. What's do you think this next season is going to be still like the learning curve? You know, you're not quite peaked there. You know, I mean, it's been quite a steep learning curve at the moment, or the results are showing quite a steep learning curve. Do you think this is now going to be a fine tuning season then, where you're looking for a couple of podiums maybe, and just making the best of it, but still having the fun?
Yeah, I think like I think I'll always be learning and finding out what works best for me within a race, and I'd like to obviously be more confident myself and just like attack the obstacles a bit more how I do in training when I'm just like not thinking too much and just flowing through them a bit more freely. And I think I know the races I've had in the build up in the first season I played it. I've just played it safe. Like I know I have the strength to like swing through certain obstacles, and but some things I know when I've raced I've just like matched each obstacle and just attacked them within myself instead of challenging myself to fly through them quick as such,
Yeah.
which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's quite good to still have that control through an obstacle rather than a falling off through a silly mistake. And but I feel like I feel like I've got so much more room to play with this season.
Without a doubt, without a doubt, without a doubt. How have we moved on from hockers though? That's the big question. I can hear people listening to this and saying, "Ask me about the hockers." Have we moved on from hockers? What we're racing in
Oh yeah,
now?
I didn't wear them afterwards. After that, I think I wore them in the marathon, and then I realised I didn't actually like them. I think they're the reason I damaged my foot. Just the type of the shoe it was, and yeah, I didn't like them. I've definitely got different shoes now.
What we're using now?
I had some crafted shoes. They were some, I think they're called OCR Speed.
Right.
Um, I was wearing those for a lot of my races, and I've got the VJs as well. Yeah, so definitely got
The
some
orange
options.
ones or the red ones?
The orange ones,
The
yeah, I
Spark.
like those
Yeah.
ones. Yeah, the Sparks. And I've had a pair of Innovates.
Yeah.
Innovates, yeah. Had a pair of those, which I mainly just train in, to be fair. But yeah, I've
I've
definitely
just
improved my footwear.
I've just seen that Innovate have got an amazing deal at this moment in time on some X Talon 210s, but only for women. So the bright yellow ones are currently half price at £70. They've got all
Okay.
sizes apart from 7 and 8. So when you're listening to this, guys, if you want some new OCR shoes, you women out there, go check out Innovate's website, X Talon 210s. So yeah, 70 quid. I saw them earlier. I was like, I'm always looking for new trainers. I am a trainer
Yeah.
geek, I think.
Yeah, we always joke about as soon as someone mentions a pair of trainers, everyone's got all their info and facts in like the group chat. Pop as soon as someone's got a shoe. That's when everyone wakes up and talking in the group chats.
It's the biggest question, I think, in OCR. Well, in any sport, I've seen this a lot in high rocks at this moment in time. Is like, what's the best trainers for high rocks? And
Yeah,
and we used
I
to always
noticed
have this
that.
in OCR and that. So, you think that might be something you might eventually go into, a little bit of high rocks? Have you done any high rocks? Haven't you, Nasha? That?
I did high rocks in Manchester with my first experience in the Open. It was fun. I was carrying a slight injury, so I couldn't actually push as much as I wanted to on a lot of the stations. But no, I really enjoyed it and got through everything really like well as I could, and a really good experience. I really liked it. I would like to do more. Um, as we're obviously talking now, the Birmingham ones got released, but I think they sold out straight away.
If you don't get on within 6 minutes, I think you're not going to get
Yeah,
one. It's
I think
crazy.
they sold out straight away. I was
Yeah.
thinking about doing the doubles on that, but yeah, they went too quick.
They absolutely fly out. It's the biggest thing. I love the atmosphere of it. I think, if we can get that atmosphere in OCR at some of the events, it would be absolutely amazing. And and not just the finish line atmosphere, the actual whole event atmosphere.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, I think it's just hard because how some of the races are spaced out. It's hard for people to get around, and because obviously you want to see people finish, and we want to see a particular obstacle or rig that's set up. So I think it's hard for everyone to space out and get through the course when we're all running around, especially if you're
Definitely,
following certain people.
definitely. Shylla, thank you for joining me. We're not going to keep these podcasts long. I'm going to keep them nice and short because I wanted to get you on later on in the season when you're doing well, and I'm going to say that with utter confidence because I've got it in you. So whenever you're doing well, we're going to get you on, get a chat back with you, see how you've gone on and that. But before I let you go, do you want to give a shout out to anyone or any sponsors or your gym or anything like that? I know you're with Rumble Fitness, so give them a shout out and anything else.
Yeah, obviously, give a shout out to my Rumble teammates. They're always like supporting me and championing me and telling me how good I am, and also like Shelly, even though she's my teammate as well, but she's the reason I'm doing OCR because she suggested it and put me forward for like joining Rumble. Yeah, it's really everyone. Like I could name everyone, but I think everyone in my team knows.
Has Shelley convinced you to do Overload's Farmyard Jam yet? Because she's trying to convince the whole Rumble team from my hearing.
No, Julie was actually trying to, well, not trying to, she mentioned it and I was thinking about it. I just trying to not do too much, but it's still in the back of my mind that I might still give it a go. I was going to message her the other day about it actually. So I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I think Julie's team did quite well last year. I think she had a team of four and they went the full 24 hours. So I know Julie's team went quite well last week. I know Shelley's planning on coming back to it and that. She loves a bit of farmyard jam, a bit of a trying to get to the 24-hour mark.
It
So
would be good to do. It would be fun. But yeah, just thanks for my team mainly, and obviously a special shout out to probably Lou Ferriman and Pip Rainbow and Julie for sure because they're always like keeping me going and supporting me a lot. And yeah, it's been a good season.
it's a great season last year, and I'm sure this season is going to be absolutely wonderful. As I say, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.